You know that nostalgia compartment of your brain where all the old games you used to play reside, whether they were good or bad? Well, for me, being the big fan of animals that most kids are, games like Connectimals for the Xbox 360 and Nintendogs for the Nintendo DS take up a lot of space in that nostalgia file. But I think the game that gives me that feeling the most is Sim Animals, a Wii and DS game that came out in the winter of 2009. It's a game that I think a lot about. It had that sort of open world, sandbox feel that was rare to come across at that time. It felt immersive, like you were truly there with all of those beavers and bears. And most importantly, it wasn't like other Sims games. There were no people. Just you, a floating hand, and some squirrels. So, I decided to revisit the forgotten Sims game, Sim Animals, to see if it's held up after all these years. When I first booted up the game, I deadass thought this whole video idea was gonna be out the window. Letters were missing, I was yelling at trees. Oh my god, this fucking tree. But finally, I got the game to work, and fuck! Oh, nice. Oh, he's pissed. The game kind of held my hand, but I was able to make some really exciting discoveries. Oh, I can just put this shit in my backpack. Dude. Next, we encountered a robin. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it, I ended up feeding this robin to Penelope the cat, and holy moly, that bird put up a fight. Oh my god. But fret not, dear viewer. I ended up renaming the cat to Evil Penelope, so that her name now served as a warning. My happy little squirrel's girlfriend, or should I say squirrel friend, moved in, and she hated me instantly. So I moved out of town. But before we entered the new area that we had unlocked, we got to play Who's That Pokemon? I guess Totodile. Upon my arrival at Foggy Creek, the game asked me to help two deer mate. That's not a joke, I got to do that. And so I immediately tried putting the baby deer in my backpack, and the game would not let me do that, and the parents got really mad at me. So I didn't try to do that ever again. Even though there are some awkward controls, like vigorously shaking a latex-gloved hand across an animal, I would say that this game is pretty frickin' beautiful, especially for its time, but maybe that's just the nostalgia talking. It was pretty cool getting to see all the animations that played out. Eventually the content of the game did start getting a little bit repetitive. You just kind of unlocked new areas. In this case, I unlocked an area with Alan, the beaver. Only Alan. Just Alan, nobody else. I would say the only difference between playing this game now and when I played it as a kid is just the level of investment that I have in all the creatures. I feel like as a kid I was so nervous that one of them would die, and now I'm openly feeding birds to cats. But hey, a cat's gotta eat. Overall, I took about as in-depth of a look at this game as I could stomach, since the controls were so frustrating to use on an emulator. But it really is a genuinely peaceful game. I really encourage anybody who likes simulation games to give this game a shot. It's just like any of the main Sims games in the sense that you can either wreak havoc and incite chaos, or you can do things by the book and be a good zoo owner? Are these zoos? I think this is just a habitat rehabilitation type of thing. Anyways, okay, that's all. Thank you for revisiting this game with me. I had a great time and I am tapping out. Again, I think it's so corny every time. Okay, bye.